Makerspaces in the special ed classroom are a great way for children to learn through design and creativity. So, how can makerspaces support a special ed classroom? In a special ed environment, makerspaces are an active part of any successful classroom. In our classroom readings, we learned that makerspaces come in all shapes and sizes, but they all serve as a gathering point for tools, projects, mentors, and expertise. In any classroom, makerspaces allow for children to serve multiple functions while learning new and exciting materials such as using imagination, meeting sensory needs, logical planning, strategy, etc. How do makerspaces support learners' process of learning? Makerspaces facilitate learning, which transitions people from being users of knowledge to knowledge creators. Students with special needs tend to need more structure than some of their typical peers with play. So a teacher can give a directive at a center such as build any transportation vehicle with Legos in 10 minutes with a partner. This allows for students to learn by being creative, collaboration, following directions, and how to take what they've learned and apply it to their future endeavors. This also allows students to be able to work with other students when most of my students would prefer to work alone. So this kind of gives a fun space for them to work together in kind of a less invasive environment. These are some examples of what makerspaces could look like in a special ed classroom. So here we see actually the Legos. This is a great example of what I already said, but it's a great example though for like 3 boys that are sitting next to each other. Now they can build it together, or you can have a makerspace where they're doing it individually and you working on parallel play versus actual one-to-one interaction. We also can see in makerspaces that it's just a great way. You can use so many different things. It's a great way to have children learn through using their hands. All that tactile is great for the children with special needs. How does it support the final product for learning? So makerspaces can have a positive impact on learners' processes. Makerspaces also encourage students to have a sense of competency that increases their motivation to do better in the classroom and stay actively engaged. For many of my students, this is really, really important. I work with a lot of students that have special needs that tend to have a lower self-esteem, and when they do have a sense of accomplishment or that they can do something, you really see that child just kind of light up, or you see that motivation to want to learn more or to do better and just really stay engaged with the curriculum. And that really can translate outside of that makerspace model too. Makerspaces also, they teach children how to make something, learn new gifts a child may have that they didn't know they had. They also serve multiple sensory needs and to keep children actively engaged in the material. This multiple sensory needs is a very important thing for my special needs kiddos. They all have different sensory needs, so with makerspaces you can really fulfill different types of sensory needs in one kind of learning area. Makerspaces also help encourage the development of motor skills, social skills, imaginative play, and learning through play. So this is the best way that children can learn, is learning through play. And especially for a lot of my special needs kids, social skills is one of the most important things that they are all working on. So I find that this makerspace idea is a great idea for children with special needs and typical, especially if you have a classroom that has typical and has inclusion with children with special needs. It's a great way to pair a child that's typical with a child that's not typical and have them partner together and work together and to learn about one another. Thank you so much for listening.